Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the Digital Weather Desk powered by Century Next Bank. I'm Jared Floyd, and it is Monday, December 15th, about 4:30 in the afternoon. Let's kind of jump into the forecast. Not a lot of significant changes, but some changes to the forecast, especially with some surprisingly warmer air this afternoon on the back of some southwesterly winds. Does lead me to some skepticism of just how cold we'll get tonight, especially if those winds hold on through the overnight. And also, rain chances did get a boost for Wednesday across a good chunk of the area. Latest forecast can be found at digitalweatherdesk.com and on the app tied to your specific location. But let's just kind of jump into things this afternoon. Clear skies for the time being. Could see some high clouds overnight. I'm also skeptical as to how much cloud cover we can really see return across the area through the early part of the evening. As we dig deeper into the overnight and even toward daybreak tomorrow, I would expect the clouds to start to become a little bit more widespread. Radar, as always, made possible by Brown's Roofing. Schedule your free roof inspection now at brownsroofingla.com. No rainfall, and it's looking increasingly likely like the second half of the month of December should be pretty dry. Temperatures, again, rebounding across the region on the back of some southwesterly winds. They're fairly light winds, but enough to at least drive temperatures back into the mid to upper 40s. In fact, some areas touch the 50-degree mark, and that's a far cry from the low 20s that we said that we saw to start the day. And again, you can really thank the southwesterly winds, clear skies, and a very, very dry environment. Dew points generally in the teens and 20s for the most part. Wondering if Monticello's reading is accurate or not, because they've been below the zero marker and into the negative numbers for much of the day. Most of the dew points have been in the teens and 20s. We did have some single-digit dew points yesterday. As I mentioned, the winds are back out of the south. Most of the winds are fairly light, but where we have seen some consistent 5 to 7 mile an hour winds, they've been out of the south and southwest, and that's what's led the charge through the afternoon hours. And again, if we can hold on to those 5 to 8 mile an hour winds through the early part of the night, or maybe even through the overnight hours, it does lead to some skepticism as to just how cold we'll get. I think regardless, most areas should drop below freezing, although the Barron 3K model actually has a lot of areas staying at or just above freezing overnight. I think firmly into the mid to upper 20s is still a pretty safe bet. If we're warmer than that, I think everybody will consider that a little bit of a treat. Look at Futurecast, made possible by Bayou Power Sports. I-20 frontage road in Monroe shows the winds back out of the south and southeast. Cloud cover rolls back in tonight. And then with that, eventually a weak disturbance on Wednesday could stir up a few scattered showers across the region. Most of that rain should be fairly light, but again, could just kind of be the leading edge of some rainfall and return flow of moisture that could generate some rain for Wednesday and Thursday. Again, the first disturbance looks fairly light. We continue on the warming trend through the daytime hours on Wednesday. Then we bring a cold front through on Thursday. Scattered showers, maybe a few thunderstorms along with it. The boundary passes through, its skies clear, and it looks like Friday will be a little bit cooler, not necessarily drastically cold, but cooler before the warming trend resumes going into the weekend. Again, rain totals over the middle part of the week are not overly aggressive, just a few hundredths to maybe a few tenths of an inch of rain. Again, obviously, if we catch a thunderstorm or two, I wouldn't be surprised to see a heavier downpour, maybe drop some isolated higher totals, but generally speaking, any rain, still good rain at this point. And still not expected to really see much over the next 7 to 10 days. And the best chances will be Wednesday morning and then again Thursday early afternoon. Carolyn, good afternoon to you as well. 6 to 10 day temperature outlook, again, leading us into Christmas Day, which is now 10 days away. Above average temperatures looks like a high likelihood, and even as we round out the year in the 8 to 14 day outlook, still pretty high confidence of being above average temperature-wise during that stretch. Lows tonight, mid to upper 20s, back below freezing, but the clouds could sneak in by daybreak. Again, the winds out of the south are kind of an important role player in the forecast as we head through the overnight. Daytime highs tomorrow in the mid-50s as the clouds return across the region. Becoming mostly cloudy by afternoon. Winds will be out of the south, and as those winds pick up a little bit in the afternoon, obviously the warming trend follows suit. Look at the 7-day forecast made possible by 3B Hardware. Again, beef the rain chances up just a skosh for Wednesday. Oh, man. I got to fix something. Hang on. Always, you gotta check your icons before you do these things. I gotta throw the little rain icon in there. We'll get it fixed. Can't be having that. My rule of thumb is always 30% rain chances or higher, then you got to throw the little icon in there. It's going to take a second for it to populate. But on Wednesday, you're going to see the little rain icon. It's more for my reference than it is for your reference, but it bothers me. So scattered showers, possibility through the day on Wednesday, specifically mid to late morning, probably the best chances. Warming up ahead of the cold front on Thursday, highs near 70, but then the cold front moves through early afternoon. Showers, maybe a few thunderstorms. Again, I wonder if rain chances at 50% are where I want them to be. I probably should either go 60 or 40%, depending on which model data you want to go through. But I'll split the difference, and I'll say 50. A lot of the later data that's coming this afternoon really points more to 60% rain chances, but we'll keep them where they are. Mid-50s for highs, a little bit cooler through the day on Friday, and then low to mid-70s Saturday, Sunday. Good evening to you as well, Betty. Low to mid-70s this weekend. Temperatures back above average for this time of year. Morning lows climbing from the low 40s to near 60 degrees by the end of the weekend. And obviously, that's above normal for this time of year. Average high should be about 58, 59. Average low should be in the mid to upper 30s. And we're nowhere close to that. So, at least as we go into the weekend. So if you have some holiday festivities, plan accordingly. And that's a look at the forecast as we go through the rest of this Monday afternoon. Fish and game forecast comes out later this evening, about 8 o'clock. And I'll join you first thing with tomorrow morning with a look at the forecast. As we continue to dissect the rain chances for the middle part of the week, we'll have a look at temperatures and just to see how low they go as we go into the morning hours tomorrow. I would, again, take those cold weather precautions and still make sure to leave the faucets dripping, things like that, because you don't want to wake up to a mess tomorrow. And that's, again, a look at the forecast. Your specific forecast always available at digitalweatherdesk.com and on the Digital Weather Desk app, available for Apple and Android users. I'll check in with you tomorrow morning, and thanks so much for making this part of your day. Have a great rest of your Monday, everybody.